Yeah. Look, invitation sent, sign seal delivered, you got it, now welcome in. Engaging with the listener, a space for where you is. As we debate particulars, trying to build a bridge through conversation that's intimate. The mission is thought-provoking with words spoken. Bitter truth, not the sugar-coated, just an openness, place on display. Wisdom in the words that he say, a part of just embracing every gray over here. No fear, clear, I'm unafraid. I'm much older, I no longer hold a child ways. Adults in the room, times past for playing games. Grown talk, isn't that the reason why you came? Simple and plain, delivery raw, straight to the chase. Better than before, learning from your yesterdays. Introducing insight, influence, be amazed by a brother of a certain age. Now rock with him.
What's going on? First of all, how does my mic sound? Let me know. How am I sounding? Let me turn the music down a little bit. No, I got it on. Put it at 8. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is this mic on? Okay, cool, Vibrant Law. Appreciate y'all for coming in. Sup, Lisa J stopped in. Damn my opinion. DMO stopped in. Vibrant Law. Joe, I appreciate the look, even if you got to come back. I think it'll be a worthwhile show to do a replay. Lorna Williams, of course. Miss T. Pre, thank you for stopping in, Miss T. Pre. Vibrant Lull, of course. Yeah, Joe, get it together. Wellness, yes. Get it together. The homie's here, Harmony. The homie is here. Howard's in the building. Crystal clear. What's up, Child Eyes? What's going on? Let's see. Wait, what'd you say, Joe? Cuffing season. Oh, that's for you tonight. You getting cuffed tonight? That's what that is. You getting cuffed tonight? Yeah, I feel you. That's why. Yeah, listen. If you getting cuffed tonight, then yeah, you could do the replay. You don't have to be here live if you're getting cuffed. What's good though, y'all? What's good? Just checking in with y'all, seeing how y'all feeling tonight. It's Friday. Literally, and it is Friday. When I go to work tonight, I'm on my Friday. So that's a good thing. I got the weekend off. Always good to have the weekend off. Look at Vibrant Love putting all your stuff in the chat, Harmony. Look at the Ma. She going in. She done put your Instagram, everything in there. That's what's up. What up, Emmanuel? Yeah. So this is so y'all know I'm doing like the music. I mean, not the music, the movie stuff, the reviews, and this is gonna be like a one-stop shop for me. I know you're supposed to they tell you to niche it down and have 3 or 4 channels. I can't do it. I can't do 3 or 4 channels. Everything that I'm doing will be here. I know it'll be rough for the algorithm to get me out there because there's my channels all over the freaking place. What's up, Keeper? L, good to see you, L. Ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you, L. Appreciate you. But I'm gonna do everything here. This is a one-stop shop. You come here, you're gonna get all of it. So there'll be playlists though. So the streamer script is playlist. This is my first for Convo with Friends. Even though if you go back a couple of years ago, I was doing this, interview style sit down with friends or people that I feel like that had cool stories and stuff like that. So if you get a chance, go back and check my interviews from a couple of years ago when I was doing on camera. You can check the older ones too, my podcast. But yeah, so this is the first of Convo with Friends, and listen, I know some cool people. That's just it. One of the cool people I know is Harmony Garcia, and she's gonna come up and chop it up with me tonight. So hopefully you enjoyed our conversation. She is, I know y'all hear me talking about accountability. She is one of my accountability partners and a good friend. She does not sugarcoat at all. That's why we love her in the group. She is gonna call us on your bullshit, and she don't mind being called on hers. You know, I feel like you need that. But she does it with love. I see you in the back, Harmony. Give me a thumbs up. Do you do it with love? Okay. So anyway, she does a lot of cool shit. I'm gonna just say it like that. But the latest cool thing she did was she wrote a book. So I'm gonna bring her up. We're gonna talk about that and other things. So y'all, welcome, Harmony Garcia.
Hi, everybody. I've been recording.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
double duty. I figure since my audio situation's all fuckety up, I'm going to be in the chat while I'm here since I'm
yeah.
anything.
Now, when was the last time you recorded? Like last time you've been live? Because you was doing it for a while.
Oh, God, the last time I went live, I couldn't even tell you. It's been a long time. The podcast has been obviously on hold while this baby got done.
Mm-hmm.
Just too many. My hands were trying to be in too many buckets, and I just realized it's too scattered. So season 2 is coming now that the book is in the proper form.
Yeah. So if we gonna use one of your favorite words, we're gonna reverse engineer this.
I'm curious to know what you think my favorite word is.
Reverse engineer. One of your favorite words.
Oh.
We gonna reverse engineer this. We're gonna start with we could get into everything, but we're gonna start with the book. Why, at what point, at what point did you decide you wanted to write a book, and why?
Well, it's funny, you've heard me say in the room or in our accountability group that I feel like it just kind of plopped down in my brain from somewhere. And I said it in a video, or I said it in passing in some social media post. And I even remember thinking, where did that come from? Because it's not like it was something that I'd been thinking about and just never pulled the trigger on. It was definitely something that was plopped into my brain. And then I just kept saying it when I would make cooking videos and I would show my food. Oh, I'm going to write a cookbook. Not really lying, just like it sounded like a really good idea. And it was something I felt like I was capable of doing. And at some point, I realized I had said it so many times that it was going to have to come to fruition. Like I'm going to have to put my money where my mouth is. And then the fibroid diagnosis thing, I connected those dots, and I was like, oh, rather than just do a regular cookbook, I'll do one that caters towards women that are suffering with fibroids, and being a part of an accountability group. You can only say so many things before your guys start saying, hey, you've been talking about this book. Where is it?
Yep.
So now it is.
Right. So now you meshed food. Why food with your fibroid diagnosis? Connect those dots for me.
Well, food is going to do one of two things. It's going to heal or it's going to hurt. And the long and short of it is I didn't want to get a hysterectomy. That's their knee jerk when you go to the doctor. God bless them. Get a hysterectomy. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And I really, to be straight up, just authentic with you, it was the fear of getting cut open. And then the fear of not having my lady parts, and that scared me. And so I thought there's got to be an alternative. And it's not just the fear. I've always been a questioner. And so I thought there's got to be another way. I'm not going to just trust them blindly because this is my body. This is a big deal. And so I started researching and started reading and started looking at obscure, like out of the box groups of women that were using movement and food and mindfulness and reducing stress and as a way to reduce their fibroids. And I can't make testament either way. I can't make promises to anyone, but what I do know is when I went the last time to get my fibroids checked under an ultrasound, they had shrunk. Mm. And my doctor said, keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. So that passion was born out of, again, not making promises. I'm just sharing my story of what I did in the hopes that it will make women and men too. But because at the end of the day, fibroids are just tumors. And everybody can get a tumor. So the recipes in this book, along with my story, will be foods that you can lean on that will be fun and delicious, that are also helping your body. They're not, so if you want to eat a good meal, it doesn't have to be boiled chicken breast and steamed broccoli, It's 1997. So
guilty.
I know. So yeah. I love food. I want to share food, and let me share some of the things that I make at home with people that, might give them just like a guilt-free way of enjoying food.
Right. And you make it look good too. That's also part of the process, right? Just not making boring food, making it tasty, making it look good. Because that when people think healthy, I remember years ago when I started to get a little more healthy, and people would, it was always like, oh, what you eating? Lettuce? The people thought eating healthy was boring, and it's not. I was thinking about you all day today because we were doing this, but yesterday I had first of all, I had no water, right? I had coffee, like an energy drink. I had 3 ounces of Remy Martin.
You ate. Must have been buzzing. Did you feel like your body was like?
Yesterday wasn't the problem. Today was. I felt so shitty today.
Oh no!
My guts was just. I was just and I said, I know Harmony. I questioned for 1 second, man, why do I feel like? Then I started thinking about what the fuck I was eating yesterday, and that's one thing you're avid when we talking. What you eat,
Well, it's crazy because I had a perfect example of that shit happening tonight because I left a check-in with our group, and you probably haven't heard it yet, but I went. I'm in Charleston, so I'm having a little vacay, and I thought I'm craving some shrimp. And fried shrimp is my go-to. Of course you do. Do you putting spices on it? Please say you are. Anyway, so I went to a local place, and they get the shrimp right out of the trawler. It's right here on the coastline, but I don't know what they fry it in, and I haven't had fried food besides what I make at home with avocado oil and all my mindful shit. And I couldn't tell you how long. All I got was 1/3 of a pound of shrimp, probably 7 or 8 shrimp. And then I did go this morning and I got 2 donuts that they deep fry for you right there. And one of them was mild maple icing. The other one was no icing. It was just fried in a vat of oil. And I haven't had something fried other than at my own house I couldn't even tell you when, 6 months or more. It could be longer than that. I felt like I literally ate half of one donut, half of the other one. So the equivalent of a donut, about that big, and those shrimp. And I promise you, within 30 minutes, I felt tired. You can hear me actually on my check-in. I'm yawning the whole time I'm leaving the check-in. And that's not like me. So of course I made myself go, and I went and did a 2.5 mile walk. I immediately felt better. But I felt so tired, and my eyes felt heavy, and I thought, you motherfuckers, it's the oil. It's what I just went and purchased and spent $20 on the fucking shrimp and, $18 with tip on the donuts. And I'm like, for what? Why? Because it's some narrative I'm telling I need. I could have gotten some fried shrimp when I got home and fried them at home. But because I'm here, I gotta have fried shrimp. And all it did was make me fucking tired. I'm like, see, Harmony, you need to keep doing what you're doing because it works.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I knew what it was today. I just went back and said, yesterday I was terrible. Yesterday I had probably 3 or 4 cups of coffee during work. It was just everything I did, coffee is like almost like a laxative.
Oh my gosh.
And
I know. I love it.
and I didn't need an energy drink though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, let me get this energy drink. Let me
You still drink energy drinks?
yeah, I'll have them. Well, I'm leaning more into this guy. He sent me a whole bunch of his pre-workout.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been putting that in ice cold water in my shaker, put some ice in there, shake that up. And then I told him I've been drinking that instead of coffee and energy drinks. But every now and then, probably like once a week, I'll get me an energy drink. I definitely.
The pre-workout, does it make you feel like more alert?
Yeah, his pre-workout, it doesn't have the beta alanine in it. That's what gives you the itchy by your whole body you can feel like your skin crawling, but it hypes you up. You go lift, you get a good lift. What's up, Identity? It's good to see you, man. I ain't seen you in a while, man. You gotta pop out, bro. Yes.
I don't like that shaky feeling. That's why I've never been drawn to. How I ever did lines of cocaine is beyond me, because the only thing that saved my ass is the alcohol. I was power chugging along with it, but I don't like that kind of like intense, that buzzing feeling. I can't stand that.
Yeah. So now, okay, you touched on cocaine. So that's one of the things that
I touched on cocaine.
That's one of the things you talk about in your stories and in your podcast, the stuff you were doing to your body when you were younger that didn't serve you well. And a lot of people, first of all, get into that a little bit, but a lot of people are not that transparent. People don't want you to know that they done certain things, and they'll put on a front. So why the transparency? And then talk about do either first or second, but talk about the things you were doing to your body, and why the transparency.
Loads of things, drinking, binge drinking, smoking cigarettes, drugs, not an addict, not in need of a 12-step, but definitely as you do, you party. You are, and I've learned my particular situation, it was escapism. I was running from myself. And as we know, wherever we go, there we are. So it just occurred to me one day, all of the things that I've done to my body, and the fact that it allows for me to be vertical still at 50 years old is kind of mind blowing. And I know that's not everybody's story. There's a lot of people that I know and have known and loved, and I'm sure you have as well, that have succumbed to it prematurely. And so I kind of realized that I don't abide by the keeping secrets thing. It doesn't really serve anything. And for me particularly, I feel like keeping secrets, it's automatic, like it creates shame when you hide something. And I understand what it's rooted in, like with AA and when it was created, like the era that they were in. If people knew that even though everybody was drinking, but if people knew, your bosses or whatever, the church assembly knew that you were drinking or had problems, you were like blacklisted. You were fired, you were judged harshly. And so I understand what Bill W. did by, rooting that and like being anonymous. But there's when you try to even keep something silly from one of your friends or one of your loved ones, it's immediately, there's like a spotlight's been shown on it. Anything we try to avoid, it just gets louder and louder and louder. And I thought, I'm going to just tell people, because likely I've known a lot of people, and I was a bartender off and on for 2 decades. So I know what people are doing in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not any special. I'm like not this special person that just did all these crazy things. No, everybody's doing all these crazy fucking things. Congrats on kicking the wagon. Obviously, she's doing something right. Oh, thank you. That makes me feel good. I appreciate that.
Yes.
But as you know, like when you say it releases anything that we try to hide or control immediately has a power over us. And I just said, I don't give a shit what people know about me. And if they're going to judge me about what I am open about, then they're not my people.
Right.
So it was simple.
Yeah. And you, like I said, you're not afraid to call people on their bullshit. But what about you that allows you to call yourself on your bullshit? And how long did that take you? How long was it before you, or do you still make excuses for yourself?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I always will. Definitely always will. That's just that's part of the human condition to try and avoid. I mean, I still have days where I'm like, do I really want to go work out? And, I could just, no, it's just our brain trying to pull us back to comfort zone,
Right.
closer to comfort, closer to death. That's what I say. But it just, I don't know. I guess I'm just, for lack of sounding cheesy, I'm not going to be able to say any of this stuff without sounding cheesy. I'm just really grateful that I'm alive, because when I think of some of the things that I've done, driving the wrong way down the freeway while I was hammered with my two dogs in the back of the car, I mean, I should have theoretically 50 DUIs or more, 150. I don't know how many times I've driven drunk over the years, and put myself in danger, put other people in danger. The times I've done harsh drugs, this like at a party or something. And thank God it was pre-fentanyl, or else I probably would be dead, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that I was spending money on because I'm a girl and I was a bartender. So you couldn't, you can trip and fall into a line of cocaine when you're in the industry. That's just the way that it is. So I guess I didn't really look at what I was doing until I got older. And I don't know if it really does. Some people get older and they don't really learn still, they're still kind of trying to fuck off. But for me, I wanted more. There's something tapping me on the shoulder saying, Harmony, you're worth more. I don't know what that is. I don't know how some people get it and some people don't. I really, truly don't. Like, it's going to be a question I'm going to take to the grave, is why some people can go through such harsh traumas and put themselves through more trauma because it's their comfort zone, and then somehow pull themselves out of it by the grace of God or whoever's in control of the ship. And then some people just don't. There's people here right now in this town that are under a bridge shooting up, and it's just heartbreaking. So I feel lucky every day. I have a sense of gratitude about me that is Mach 10. You know what I mean? Like I could talk to you for 6 days straight about the things that I'm grateful for every day. And that has saved me.
Yeah. So, you've always been big on gratitude.
Yeah. And it was, speaking of that episode, that Brene Brown, one of the things she mentioned in that episode, speaking on courage and vulnerability and transparency and being open with our people about our shit and why it's important for quality of life, is she spoke about the vulnerability shivers. And that struck me. I've been hearing that in my head. Like, what is that? Vulnerability shivers. I've never heard that before. And it's just been like, I've been driving on the road thinking about it for the last 3 days. Like, what? I've never heard it termed that way. And so essentially, for those of you who are like me that don't know, vulnerability shivers are basically when you're about to put yourself in a state of vulnerability, whether that's asking somebody you're interested out on a date or you're whatever the case may be, your nervous system gets rocked and you get physically uncomfortable. You might get shaky, your palms might get sweaty. There's a whole slew of things that can happen. That's what she's referring to as the vulnerability shivers. It's our body's way of going, whoa, what the fuck,
Yeah.
And her remedy to that was gratitude. She said, if you can immediately put yourself in a space of gratitude when you feel yourself getting fearful of being vulnerable with somebody, it will diffuse it like that. And that concept has rocked my world in the last 3 days since I heard her speaking of that.
Yeah, it was a good episode. Let me see. You remember offhand what it was?
Diary of a CEO.
Diary of a CEO, and it was Brene Brown. Brene Brown. Yeah, it was a good episode. We're gonna jump into some of that stuff too. I just want to post a couple of comments and then we'll move on. Don't mind sharing personal stories, but there's maybe a lesson journey that are bigger. We're all human, but you have to be careful in it. Yeah, that's you definitely have to be careful on the internet. Because there are people who are looking to use what you're saying against you and possibly affect your life. Mm-hmm. But I think like you kind of, if I compare it to anything, from like 8 Mile, when the last battle with Eminem pretty much just told everything, and then the person didn't have anything to say.
Yeah.
And so sometimes if you just being open and honest and vulnerable, we touch on that too. Vulnerable. Um, she linked vulnerability to courage as well.
Oh yeah.
So let me. Lorna says, yes, every time I put a donut in my mouth, it's an excuse. My brain, it's a reward for working hard. Well, jump into that a little bit about that that reward that we get, because you riff on that as well.
That's the line of horse shit that we all tell ourselves
Mhm.
about. I don't know, just flip the script a little bit on how we think we're being rewarded. And it's definitely a rewire. It's how our brains are wired up. I'm not kidding, and I may have mentioned this in the audio. There is not a time that I see the golden arches in the sky when I'm driving around and I don't crave a fillet of fish oozing with tartar sauce. I mean, it's a neuro pathway that is like ingrained. I don't get them, I'm not saying I never will, but I know I play that movie out to the end. I know I'll immediately feel like shit afterwards. So I think it's essentially, Rodney, you've heard me talk about it, just questioning shit. Like, what do I even mean I'm gonna celebrate with a fucking donut? I mean,
but come on, it tastes so good.
It does taste good, but I don't know. I love Howard's thing, and I don't know if you're still in here, Howard. He said he can just have 1 or 2 bites and he's done with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be a game changer if you could just have 1 or 2 bites and then push it away, because likely you wouldn't have, that kind of negative response. But why can't we reward ourselves with good stuff? Like, I worked all week, so I'm going to go get hammered so I can feel like shit for 4 days. Like, what?
Listen, I'm waiting to get drunk, and you're sober too, by the way. But you haven't had a drink. How long is it? You haven't had a drink?
Well, gosh, it's been, next week will be 11 months.
Right, and it wasn't something that just one of them. Just one day, it seemed like you were just like, I'm just not gonna have a drink, and then you didn't. And I remember when you said it, you weren't like, I'm never gonna drink again. You just said, it's not serving me right now. So, and it just turned into all those months.
I've even tried to get myself to want it. I'm like, Harmony, come on. It's Friday, nice room temperature tequila, little tahini on the rim. Come on, it's so good. Your body feel all warm. It'll be amazing. And then I will go, well, okay, yeah, let's fast forward to the next morning when I feel like a bag of hammered dicks and I can't move for 2 days, but it's or 3 or 4. I don't feel good. I literally hate the Golden Arches fake food. Yes, you're right. It is. It tastes like shit, but we are. No, I'm sorry. That's a lie. It tastes amazing, but it is not food. So it makes us feel bad. It's fake food. Exactly.
Yeah. Howard said he's still here.
Yep. See, hey, Howard. Yeah. Howard said he can have 1 or 2 bites of something. He's good to go. Then you kind of get that little fix and then no harm, no foul.
It's something about when I pay for it, I got to follow through on it. I can't. I'm not. It's like it feels like if I'm at work or something, they have some little snacks. I can take a bite because people have seen me do this, or I would just take the cheese off the pizza because I don't eat bread, and people are like, I would have like 3 slices of pizza, and I'm just pulling, and people are looking at, it, and I throw but I didn't pay for that, so it's easier if I buy a pizza. I'm gonna eat it. So.
Oh, when you talk about, I made a bean salad at home and I made a couple other things and I loaded it up in a cooler with some ice packs and brought it here and put it in this little damn refrigerator because I didn't want it to go be wasted. That's definitely, I feel you on that because if I were to be out somewhere, I don't want to waste food.
Yeah.
I think that's rooted in like when I was a kid and stuff possibly, but
clean your plate.
Yeah, clean your plate. But with the alcohol, same thing. Like
this is where you're at. If you eat healthy long enough, not only not crave it, you won't even eat it. You won't be able to eat it. That's what you're talking about today. What you ate today, your body rejected it immediately. And yes, keeper, hammer bag of dicks, a bag of hammer dicks. And listen, I promise y'all. Her messages, we in our Voxer, you could expect some one-liners and some, oh my God. Should we redefine cheat day or cheat meal? What do you think about that? Redefine
it. That's it. Just go into it knowing what it is, you know what I mean? And I think that we've all kind of done that. you go into it with the acceptance of what it is. If you have a couple drinks, you've accepted responsibility of what that is. And it's just funny when you say I want a cheat day, I'm going to reward myself with insert whatever,
Insert bag of dicks.
Yeah, some girls do reward themselves and guys.
Well, I wasn't going there, but go ahead.
Sure do. But as tonight, like I was walking down on Shem Creek, I was walking and, the whole creek is lined with restaurants and everybody's on the patio and it's Friday night and it's sunset and birds are flying and people are kayaking down Shem Creek. There's live music. I mean, it is a vibe. And I felt myself getting that little pull of, oh, there's a bar right there. I'm 2 steps. I could go this way. I'm a grown ass woman. I've got money. I can go, and I just, what my brain does, I've had to practice this, but I play that movie out to the end. Would it have been the end of the world if I had drinks? No, because I would have been smart about it. But it would have the shame that I would have felt knowing what I know. It's like once you know, you can't unknow,
Yeah.
I guess that's the only way I can describe it. And the guilt. And I played that movie out to the end. And I actually was leaving there. And I was driving past a store. I used to stop in here a lot and get cigarettes when I was going to go out and drink. And I actually got like a little bit of anxiety because I was feeling like what that felt like when I was wild. I've already had a buzz. I'd drive down to the gas station, get my smokes, pack my cigarettes, light a cigarette. And for a split second, I'm like, ooh, that Parliament tastes really good. But then I go, no, because you'll be belligerent. And then interestingly enough, my memories popped up on my Instagram and it was my stories that I posted like 2 years ago or whatever on this day. And it was me, Rodney's so embarrassing. It was me. Well, you couldn't see me, thank God, but it was me videotaping the stage of a bar that I was at. And there's live music getting ready to come on. And I was already drunk because I can hear myself saying, Saturday night at a bar. And I go, gross. I sounded like I was speaking hieroglyphics like Mark. Like I was like, what are you? You are a grown ass woman. And you're like, Saturday night at the bar. I'm like, turn off. God. I'm just not one of those people. I have no hate for alcohol. I'm just not one of those people that are wired up in a way. And no matter how much I practice, I don't know that I could ever be good at it. I just like being drunk.
Right. Yeah.
So people who are like, I just love the taste of wine. I'm like, well, God speed to you, baby, because I don't know how package that and sell that, because then there would be no alcoholics. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. And you called us out on that too. You like, yeah, no, you like, if just get a non-alcoholic, they got flavored this and flavored that. You can make something taste like a daiquiri. Just drink that but you want the buzz, and that's what it boiled down to.
Yeah, because you get the warm and fuzzies. I know you get that little glow, and it's like, ooh, that's like a hug from the universe. Yeah.
Chat lies. What kind of fasting were you doing? One of the guys in the group right now, Mark, is on his second 72-hour fast. He said this time it's easier for him this time around. It's
easier. So when he was heavy into fasting, I would prepare meals and deal with food just to strengthen my resolve.
Oh, so you would that's because especially if you prepare meals, that's usually where you get them on those calories you don't account for it, because you're nibbling, you're taking a piece of that and you're eating a piece of that. So that's kind of like torturing yourself.
It is hard. Hi, Lisa. What you doing?
Never experienced that.
I really like that one. I should put that on a shirt.
I won't be buying that shirt. Yeah. So just so y'all know, this is what it's like, and it's three other people in there, and this is what we do behind the scenes. Also, while holding each other accountable, we have these crazy conversations, and very real, very honest. Appreciate that. Yes, just for the YouTube people, we got to make sure that we are not doctors, and this is just our experience, because
Thank you, Vibrant Lowell. Yes, definitely. Yes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. For sharing. Do what you want.
Then the strength is your willpower. If I know that this hunger hormone, I'm hungry, I can.
Howard knows that one.
Okay, yeah. The guy who if Howard's in here, if you want to know anything scientific about the body, the effects, about supplements, about foods, about nutrients, Howard Bloom could break.
Man,
He could break it down.
it's. I just left a checked in today about fasting and how I'm getting, just like I fell in love with alcohol. I'm, conscious of the neuropathway situation, and so I'm never going to outsmart my brain, but I want to be more in control of it. And I've actually gotten kind of, I've started getting kind of attached to the feeling of when I'm hungry.
Mm.
Because just like that gentleman I shared with you that said, I'm going to share what I've learned in 8 years of fasting in 60 seconds. And he said, if you can't control your hunger, what the fuck can you control? And when I heard him say that, I went, yep, that's why I'm getting attached to the feeling of being able to control, because food was one of my things. Food was a way to, like, a lot of people cope with food. And it was the one thing that I could kind of do whenever you want with food. It's always available, just like alcohol.
Right.
And it had somewhat of a control over me. I was gluttonous with food, and I would eat to the point where I couldn't take a deep breath. And I was just, so having control over my hunger and saying, nope, you're not, that's a little bit of a hunger pang. It's okay. I'm just going to drink some more water, and I'm going to, I'm going to wire my brain up in a way that I'm not going to let it control me.
Yeah.
And you get addicted to the feeling of, like, nope, you eat when I say you eat.
Yeah. So, when I was at my best, and when I was at, like, I don't even say it was the best, when I was in my element, like, fitness wise and dietary wise, there was nothing that could tempt me. There was nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still struggling to get back there. There was a point where
Difference, Rodney.
Say what?
What do you think is the difference of why you did it then and didn't or struggling now a little bit?
I would say, like, life in general. A lot of this stuff is rooted in what else I got going on in life.
Right.
And if I'm struggling with certain things, I'm not making certain decisions, or I'm making certain decisions, or I'm having a lot of self-inflicted things. So it all kind of piles up on you, and you have to deal with that the things that you got going on inside before you can really tackle all of that. And I've tried to do it the other way, just like exercise myself until I feel better about, and it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, my body feels good, but where's chat? He just had this chat lies. Yeah, if you have to hide it from yourself, this is what it is right here. What he's saying here. This is what it boils down to.
That lives matter.
Why I like while I'm failing at this point, and failing, there's nothing wrong with failing. It's I'm alive, so it gives me an opportunity, but I have to acknowledge that what I'm doing is not working. So,
well, you are. I mean, just that awareness and being able to say it out loud instead of coming up with a shitload of excuses. You're essentially doing what all the people that I love recommend doing, which is you're falling forward.
Yeah.
You're aware of the circumstance, and you are also aware that you're moving forward.
Yeah.
You're making it work, instead of having shame and feeling like shit.
That's some love for your tats.
Rooter to the tutor. That's a good one. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Fast for 18 months, intermittent. Okay, 20 hours, no food, 4-hour eating window, fasted exercise. Okay.
I love it. Love it. I'm addicted.
Oh, Howard, he in here dropping glycogen stores and all kind. Howard, you gonna let him one up you here? You gonna let him one up you? Yeah, like stuff that goes on, kind of, but so I eat smaller portions by going down to smaller plates. Eat on schedule. No food after 7. Okay.
Yes, Lorna. Smaller plates. I'm a clean plate club, so smaller plates. You give me a plate this big or plate this big, I'm going to eat all of it.
Right. Yeah.
So small plates is a good hack.
Yeah. So chat live. Yeah, you was on your shit right here, because you was doing your daily blood pressure, your measurements, your weighing. Yeah. Okay.
I noticed chat lives is speaking in past tense. This is all still happening, I'm assuming, or no?
Well, that does say tracked.
Yeah.
I think he chat lives. You eating some donuts right now? Because you said tracked. I used. Had to have me some tea with lemon and honey because I was feeling like a little tingle in my throat. I'm like, let me get ahead of it. Let me start. Yeah, yeah. And then going into my days off too. But anyway, I'm not. I'm the universe is taking that away. We're gonna get rid of that.
Yeah, mental. You're like, nope, I feel
I
great.
feel good. I feel good. Um, so
I stepped on a rusty nail at the beach today, and I just told my foot, "You're not going to get. I don't need tetanus. You're not going to fall off."
oh, that's the difference. I'm a big baby. I'm hopping to the ER. And,
I'm like, I'm not fucking with the urgent care.
I'm going to walk in and with my bottom lip poked out.
What did that one say? I eat a full course what? I eat one full course meal a day. Some days I can barely finish a whole meal. Sometimes I'll skip a day or two. So I dig that a lot. Keeper 116. I love these names.
Shall I? No, after a couple of years of getting to know your body, it's not necessary to continue to track like that. So now I don't go. Okay, all right.
So true.
Yeah,
You do. You wire yourself up, and you don't have to read the labels. You kind of know where to go.
yeah. That's where I was at that point, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Universe is not finished with me yet.
Nope. Not as long as I'm around.
Mm-hmm. So I best friend family. So you make all your spice in the earth.
Lorna, that's smart. Yes. Yeah, that's the other thing I noticed when I was going through my cabinets. I looked. I don't even know what the seasoning was. It was this red pepper flakes or something, and it had canola oil in it.
It's an inside joke, but go ahead.
Oh.
Sorry.
I mean, I was like, why is there oil in my? And I guess that's to keep it from sticking together. I don't know, but I just thought, Jesus, there's oil in not in all the spices though. So I thought, God, you got to read the spice labels too. So that's good that she's making her own spices.
Yeah, everything you got to read everything, and go into that too about like some of these stores saying healthy. They're giving you these things and they say healthy on the packaging.
Yeah, that's a joke with a Belvita that Lee was eating the other day, and he wondered why he felt like a bag of hammered dicks. It's because it's nothing. It's not food.
Right.
It's just processed, refined horse shit, and it's like all the oils. It had like 4 different oils because I immediately went to Belvita's. Well, not to their website, but I used my precious Tabitha, aka ChatGPT, and I asked her what was in a Belvita. And she said they are marketed as healthy, but there's really nothing to speak of in them that is food, that it's nutrition. Right. And so that's why I use the guy, about to get laid. And then she says, I don't want to do this. Now he's got blue balls.
Yeah.
Because it helps it hit, like what exactly is happening when you're eating empty calories. Your body's like, oh, they're chewing. This is going to be amazing. And then you eat like something like Dorito or something, and it's waiting like, where's my nutrition?
Yeah. And it's just mouth movement. It's like might as well chew gum because he's not getting any kind of nutrients going down.
That's why I don't chew gum anymore. I know too much. I can't even chew gum anymore.
Yes, red pepper flakes. All right, let's see.
I'm scared to ask why that's an inside joke.
Yeah, I would not go. I'll tell you behind the scenes.
Added sugar and spices, those bastards. Howard.
50% spice blends.
Yeah, I don't fuck with salt. I use my flake salt, and that's it. I love that shit because it's good for you, the flake salt. Howard, drop us as to why. Nothing crystallized, nothing pulverized, raw food only, no flour, no bread, no sugar, supplementing vitamin DK2. My man knows what's up. DK2, magnesium, no alcohol, vegetable oil. Yeah, no sunflower oil. I know sunflowers are pretty, but sunflower oil is bullshit. Soybean oil, bullshit. Canola, no bueno. Like, hello?
What's good, SPK? That's the homie there. It said most foods these days is crap. Yeah.
Right.
Found that sugar is okay from natural forms, always coupled with fiber, and fiber forms lattice in your intestines and slowly. Yeah, Howard and chat lies. I imagine them dudes just going back and forth.
Yep. Knowledge is power. I know people say that, but it is true.
Yes, and I agree. Sodium is a necessary electrolyte.
Mm-hmm.
Helps with for me, that was something that helped with the cramping. When I was working out hard, it's like I'm drinking a lot of water, but I wasn't getting electrolytes. So
I use that mineral flake salt. Learned that from the Gary Brecka gentleman that I've learned so much great information from. I got on and got a bag of it for like $10, and it's ethically sourced, high quality mineral flake salt. And I put it in a little bit in my coffee. I put it a little bit in that's how I cook with that. And so it's got so many, it's so good for you. And wouldn't be able to know the verbiage as to why Howard or Chat Lives Matter can share why it might be so good for you. But
yeah, guilty pleasure, sugar, cookies, donuts, pies. That's a go-to for most people. Like sugar, cookies, and pies, that's
the thing is crazy if you can have that stuff if it's made properly. You know what I mean? Like if you're getting it from a quality bakery, or like I use coconut sugar I still make baked goods and stuff. I just don't use white refined sugar. So there's loopholes in the system for sure.
All right. So I know I'd be all in the chat, but I want to make sure that
okay, I'm glad.
And I want to make sure that we chop it up because I know a couple of things you might want to talk about, and let's get into it because you have very interesting takes on things. So one of the things that Brene talked about, I'm gonna read a quote and I want you to riff on it.
Okay.
So vulnerability is not weakness, it's the birthplace of courage, joy, belonging, and love. The biggest obstacle to living a wholehearted life isn't fear. It's the armor we put on to protect ourselves when we feel unsafe or unworthy.
Yeah. That's a huge one. It's connection. That's what we need so much in this world is connection. And, as you know, I have lone wolf syndrome from my childhood. And I would have rather pulled my toenails out with pliers than asked for help for anything. It didn't matter if it was something big or something little. I got this, and it took a long time for me to get to a point to realize that community matters, having friends matters, open dialogue matters. And it just got to the point where I realized, how are you going to be close with anyone if you're not showing your real shit? Yeah. And it's all fine and dandy to show all your good shit to people and go, oh, look what I can do. And let's have fun together. And let's go to the pub and let's, all that stuff. But we bond when the hard shit happens. Whether that's as a community or as a married couple, as best friends, or being in our accountability group, going through the raw open dialogue that we've had because we trust one another as 5 individuals from different backgrounds, different parts of the world. That going through those times where we've had conversations where maybe the shit hit the fan and we might not have been super open about it, but we might have taken our lollipop and sat in the corner and been pissed.
Yeah.
But always came back into the group and clarified. And we're honest. We were all honest. We've all been honest and continue to be honest about our struggles. And that's how we're relating to one another. That is why we're so bonded, and why when I saw you in person, I got to come visit. It was so powerful because we've been open with one another. We've been real. We've been vulnerable. And it is in those tough times that people come together.
Right.
That's been huge for me to learn.
Yeah. It's especially that messaging, I think, is more needed now than ever because it seems like it's a lot of it's very divisive and
people are bad. People are bad,
and people are running to their corners, and they're running to their, whether it be political, whether it be racial, whether it be social economic, people are running to their corners.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going at each other. And I think I like this saying that we're more similar than we are different.
Yeah.
And but if people don't, if we're not reaching across the board or extending a hand with some vulnerability and saying, you know what, and don't get me wrong, you can get bit doing it, but I think ultimately at the end of it is worth it to risk. And then if we really gonna move in a direction and build community and help each other and look out for each other, I know that historically, when it takes like a major event, a major catastrophe, and then like everybody will come together. I always wondered like why that's not the first thing people do, as opposed to why does it take catastrophe for people to go, okay, we need to pull together.
Because we go like, this is how everybody's going through the world. And even more so now that there's cell phones. I am in shock of the amount of people that are driving down the road looking at their crotch. And I'm just like, how are people? I don't even know how people aren't dying in droves. I mean, they are, but I mean, like even more so from car accidents because everybody's so immersed in their phones. Looking straight. I've seen people driving down the road like this, Rodney, like in the driver's seat, looking at the phone in front of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? That's why I'm never going to go back to riding a motorcycle again because I'd be dead.
Yeah, I had one accident when I was like 12 or 13, maybe 11 on a dirt bike, and I never got back on a motorcycle. And no motorbikes for me.
I loved it. I did love riding motorcycles, but they didn't see you before cell phones. They're definitely not going to see you now that there's cell phones.
Yeah. No, people are so distracted and so angry in traffic and so ready to snap. And it's like it can be hard for you to, want to reach across and, because, what are you going to say to somebody that's yelling at you in traffic? My natural reaction is yell back. I'm not going to say, hey, what are you going through today? Is this a good day? Do you need a, what I'm saying? You can't, I'm ready to fight back. So it's hard.
You can go into the chat right now and hear me cussing because I was left recording in our accountability group and I was all kind of fuck this and fuck you out of my damn way. But then I was like, sorry, universe.
Yeah. That makes it all better. Sorry, universe.
Sorry.
You don't need to have a fucking license.
I mean, vulnerability is hard. Let's face it. We all want to feel like we got our shit together. We don't want to feel like, because people are so judgy more than ever. They're just like, if anything, there was a time more so in the past when if you did something good, people were likely to cheer for you. There's something going on in the world now. And actually Patsy, she's in a podcast with her two girlfriends called the Blue Butterfly podcast or the Blue Butterfly Effect podcast. I have to clarify that. I'll come back and put it in the comments after we quit talking, but they are talking about that in the most recent episode. I've gotten through about 20 minutes of it and it is on fire. The way they're speaking about misery becoming the norm. And our society is just so, they're inundated. They're taking it in through TikTok. And if your algorithm is negative or your algorithm is about the shit that's going on around the world, you're fucked. I mean, you have to be responsible for what's going in your ear holes, well, all your holes. You have to be responsible for what you're taking in because that's going to make or break how you're looking at people when you go out into the world. And if you're looking at some shit that they're putting on the 6 o'clock news to try and sell pharmaceuticals and the commercials, because news is just a business. Yeah. And if you're trying to keep you cued in, they're going to do short little spurts of look what the fuck these people did. Look what the fuck's going on over here. And it's like, you're just staring at the television, like with a, line going to your forehead of how we should go out into the world and hate on each other. And I want to believe that outside of an algorithm, unless you've got it curated really well, like mine is pretty positive things. But I feel like when you go out into the world, which is why I love going out into the world so much, you see the beauty of what's happening. Most communities are not seeing color and this and that. If you really get to the nitty gritty of when you're in, like when I was just in California and I went down into East LA where my dad's from, and like people, if they're seeing anything of difference, they're not saying anything. They're opening doors for you. They're smiling. They're saying, have a good day. They're being kind and loving. And it's enough to make you want to tear up immediately, because I want to believe that that's what's going on in the world, in these communities, that it's people are being vulnerable and they are showing love for one another. And if you were down, they're going to help you up. And I can't, that's why I can't watch the news. That's why I can't get all into, well, what the fuck's going on there? No, I don't give a shit what you're trying to tell me with your suit while you're reading a fucking teleprompter. You don't give a fuck about me or anybody else. You're making a salary and you're trying to sell pharmaceuticals on the commercials. That's it.
It's a business. It's a business. Yeah.
It's a business.
Definitely is a business. I'm the same way. I feel the same way. Like when I step out where I live at, it's a pretty mixed, and people just going to work and coming home.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are playing.
Yeah.
And there's basketball hoops and driveways and nobody, nobody's really. And I agree. Like the news. It's like I used to try to stay semi-informed because I like to talk. I always say I'll talk to a tree stump. So I want to have some kind of information or maybe relate to a story. So I do kind of try to stay tapped in. But as far as like when certain things come on the news, if you listen to the wording where it'll be like studies say there's a possibility that this can, and it's like, what is
come again?
the possibility that this can, and then they do the sample size, and it's like, okay, so where did the people live that you sampled? What were they eating? It's so many different things that you need to know in order for like a survey or what people are thinking, if that's really what society is. But yeah, I don't see it that way. And then, one of the things, like things over time happen for me, like seem like just at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm fighting that whole, like, it's whether it's a coincidence or it's not a coincidence, and what does it mean? But it seems like when I need that messaging, or when I need that confirmation that what I'm seeing is what I'm actually seeing through my eyes, not what's being presented to me. So I usually get that. And one of the things was like finding this accountability group. And one of the reasons why this happened tonight was that there was a night, was it last week? You were in the chat and I started talking about accountability, and people was asking like, well, what is that? And I was like, we had been I've been wanted to have us all on and just have us, chopping it up and doing what we do when we used to do it on 5 Deep. But that's part of what happened. At the time that I met you guys, and there's no reason why out of all the people in my mind, no reason why out of all the people that went to the group that Mark interviewed or whatever, had his conversations, like why we ended up, the 5 of us ended up there. And then when you think we were all at a certain point where we were trying to move on to the next thing or accomplish something, and we stayed, and this is 2019. And just to give y'all an idea, so like when we first got in the group, it was podcasting. We all struggling. We all wanted to learn more about editing and more about microphones and all that stuff.
Awesome.
So, Mark had us doing this thing for Christmas, right? The 25 days of podcasting.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we all coming in. It's like on this first day of first day of Christmas, podcasting gave to me, and we had to say something.
Oh, I love that. I forgot that.
Yeah.
I forgot about
so that. And I remember when he was telling to do it, I was like, this is some goofy ass shit. What the fuck is this? How did, what I'm saying? Like Danielson, like, how is wax on, wax off going to help me when I'm in the fight on the first day of, but we did it, right? we did the shit. And then at the end of it, he goes, you guys each did like whatever, 2 minutes per whatever. That was an episode. You guys, I just had you do a whole episode of a podcast, and he was just talking about being creative. And
look at Mark being the fucking podcast scholar.
Yeah. So it was like that, but so it started off as that, like I said, some goofy, thing in my mind, but it turned into like people just becoming a family. And I say it amongst other things. I have support outside of podcasts. I have support outside of you guys, but that was one of those things that I needed, that group, because it helped me so much moving forward. And what it turned into was, a family. And There's been plenty of arguments, plenty going back and forth, plenty of disagreements, always done with love.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Plenty of joking, plenty of all of that. But it happened at the right time for me.
Well, it's interesting that because today I saw a preview for a movie with Brendan Fraser. Everybody loves him. He's great, right? And the whole concept of the movie, and it looks really great, is him, I guess, in Asia. I forget what country the movie's filmed in, but you can rent a family. You can rent a mother, you can rent a daughter, you can rent a boyfriend, a best friend. They're actually full on businesses over there.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie's about, and about how he's a washed up actor. His manager gets him a position to be hired by some people in this city, and it changes his whole life. And I think that we would have no way of figuring how we were going to change each other's lives, but I know that I would never not want you guys in my life, and I look at you like family, and I just feel very blessed to have you guys every day.
Absolutely.
How often are you checking on this? Oh, yeah. I go usually every 10 months, 12 months. Like I just went in May. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. You can never could have predicted or planned that it would end up this way after there was, like you said, all those people in our accountability group, and it got whittled down to just the 5 of us.
Yeah.
You almost can't plan for it. But if any of you are lucky enough to get access to an accountability group, possibly create your own accountability group and let it kind of build, however you do that, whether you have people fill out a questionnaire or you meet people in person, and you've got so many ways you could create an accountability group, but I can't recommend it enough. Because I don't know, when I went through my divorce, I know you've heard me say this, I was sad every morning that I woke up. But I would get up, and I was sleeping in the guest room on the uncomfortable pull-out couch, and I would get up and I would grab my phone, and I would barely even have my eyes open, and I would play y'all's check-in from Voxer. And I would just lay the phone on the pillow and just lay there with my eyes closed, and I would feel good instantly. Usually there was a lot of check-ins. And I got to listen to 15, 20, 30 minutes of each of you going back and forth about whatever was going on in your life. And you guys would all say, hey, Harmony, you got this. Get up today. It makes me want to cry right now just thinking about it. But even more so than my female accountability group, they were all very supportive as well. And I think I leaned on y'all in a different way because you're men. And so there was that different kind of warmth that I was perceiving because I felt protected. And that you can't buy that shit.
You can't. And I think a lot of times when I say accountability group, it may just be words to some people, and so
yeah,
having somebody like properly put it into context, and you can't really, because you can't explain it really. Like you can give examples of things that have happened and things that we've worked through together as a family, and people who have never we didn't grow up with each other. We didn't know each other. Mark and Lee from the UK, ours in Texas. You're in NC. I'm in Connecticut. So like. There was no whatever. Our podcasts were about totally different things. You know what I'm saying? Our focus was totally different things. Everybody has a different situation. So part of it was that we had to become vulnerable in order for us to get help. We had to be able to open up and say, here's what I'm struggling with, and not feel like I'm going to be judged. So can I even say this? I don't know if I should say it. I don't know. No, we say things, and then everybody would come in. And so I always tell people, yeah, man, get you an accountability group. Even if it's people, it could be a bunch of people, y'all just holding each other accountable for walking 10 minutes a day.
Yep.
Whatever it is, it develops into things. When you're around somebody and you're talking to somebody, they'll be able to get comfortable with you, and then that's when the vulnerability comes. And then from there, if you guys are genuine and it's done with love, man, it's really there's just probably nothing that in just nothing that we haven't talked about, nothing that we haven't shared, like all across the board, and we would be considered strangers because
Yeah.
until recently, I didn't meet you until recently, but we, Mark and Lee are and both in the UK. Were they from like an hour away from each other? They've
Yeah.
never, yeah, they
I'd be all up at Lee's house. I'd be at both their house. We're going to breakfast. Let's hit it.
yeah. So but the people that we never been in the same room until recently. Um, so we there's no reason why we should. There's no reason. I mean, let me say there's no reason. I don't mean this literally, but there's no reason why we should be connected.
Right.
We are, and that's proof positive to me that it's possible.
And that's one thing it brings, speaking of that, and having a group of people that Brene spoke about in this episode is about fitting in. And I think we're all so worried. Well, I don't think, I know. And she says the same thing, is that we're all trying to fit in. We all want to be accepted. We all want to feel a part of something so desperately that we alter ourselves, whether that's with fashion or with our personalities or all of it. We go out with our personas up. And it really hinders us from being able to create true connection with people. I think, like you said, we're a lot more alike than I think. I think a lot of us are a lot more alike than we give ourselves credit for. So getting vulnerable, yeah, that's exactly what we've been doing in our accountability group without it being labeled that, because that would make your asshole tighten up, right? Like, oh God, I'm not coming to check in and get vulnerable.
Yeah.
We just had things that allowed for that. The vulnerability was a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really I feel very lucky every day to be a part of it.
And to be clear, we check in pretty much every day. And if we don't, Harmony's like,
where you at?
It's been 2 days. What the fuck is going on? Rodney, where are you at? Lee, where you at? Did you die? Or there's no excuse. I saw you on Instagram.
Yeah, what's up? And I get it too. Like I try to give space because I know people get in their own. I get like that where I'm just like in my head and I don't want to talk to anybody. I retreat. But thankfully the woods saves that. If I feel kind of funky, I'll go out into nature and it kind of reminds me of what is going on and that it'll look for the evidential proof. And there's a reason why this too shall pass has been around forever, because it's true. Nothing good or bad lasts for very long. And it's really just getting your head straight. And I think what you guys allow for, besides the slew of other things, is you're a place where I'm accountable to getting my head straight. Because I know on some level, not that I'm more elevated, or I know more or whatever, we're all very equal in there. But I know that on some level, y'all need me, just as I need you. Well, I'm not going to start crying. But that makes me show up on just that. If we had no rules or no things we were going to do, you need me and I need you. So we have to fucking show up. I can't go lay in a corner. I can't go get wasted tonight. I got to be there for my guys, Right. And that's how I feel with my other group. Same thing. It's just like somebody's watching, man.
Yeah.
So you can't.
And again, for me, if I didn't know people for years, there was none of that. There was no shot. Like, the people that know you guys know as much about me as people that I grew up with from the time I was 5-6 years old. There would be no shot at any time in my life until that particular time, because I was struggling. There was no shot that I would be connecting with new people and being like that. It would just have the arm's length. You'd be here the whole time. There'd be nothing.
Yep.
And I'm good you to death. Oh, I'm good. Yep. That was my thing. I
love that. I'm fine.
Yeah, I was running around saying, hey, I woke up on the top side of the dirt, so it must be a good day. And meanwhile, what I'm saying, I wanted to choke everybody that I saw, and I still may do that occasionally when I'm feeling good like that. But the difference is I'm dealing with those things and I'm actually talking about those things. I have like a pillow, soft landing, so to speak. And then if need be, there's a kicking ass in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? When sometimes people need to get out their own way. And if I say something, and you're usually the first one that does this in the group, you're usually the first one that says, I call bullshit. I just listened to your whole check-in. Call bullshit.
Well, you know why I do that? Do you know that I'm doing it to myself too, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I do it because I know that all the answers are in our lies. Everything that we lie to ourselves about, that's where your fix is. You know, it's not that it's just like I always say, our triggers are our teachers. If something's fucking pissing you off, turn the mirror, quit yelling at who you're yelling at, wagging the fucking finger, and go and take a beat and go in the bathroom and go, what the fuck's your problem? You know what I mean? And I tried to explain that to, you know, friends that I've had as of lately that have been venting to me about things. And I'm like, your triggers are your teachers. If this person's pissing you off because of X, Y, and Z, there's something that you're recognizing in some way that's related to yourself that this person's behavior is pissing you off. And it's once you learn some of these hacks, as you know, Rodney, life gets, I don't want to say easier, but it's not as complicated every day going out and interacting with people, because you can draw a circle around your feet and stay inside that circle. You know, you can't be taking everything personal and making everything about you. Oh, you're not going to believe what so-and-so did. You're not going to, like, I just can't even, you know what I mean? Like, take some fucking personal responsibility, own your shit, learn what your triggers are, learn why you're pissed. Don't come at me and go, you're not going to believe what my sister-in-law did. I don't give a fuck. You know, turn around and walk away, set a boundary, like quit talking about the life is this long. You know, it goes by like that. And to spend time, and I've been guilty of it, I have, but to spend time whining and bitching and this, and you know, I get on Mark about he's always with the God bless him. I know he's in a rainy ass fucking place, but it's raining. And he's gotten better, so I'm proud of him. But just putting shit into perspective and having that gratitude practice and realizing that we're all more alike. We all fuck up. We all make mistakes, and letting that be okay. And part of that being okay is accepting the flaws in your own self. Like you're never going to get anywhere. I don't give a shit where you move, what kind of a job you get. You fall in love with the best person in the world. You win the lottery. Everything can be, all the planets can be fucking aligned. But if you don't have the balls, I reference penises a lot and balls, I know. But if you don't have the
you might want to look in the mirror and see why that is.
I know why. I don't have to tell you. It's been a long time. But go look in the mirror and go, yo, like, what's your problem? You know, like fix your shit. Flip over the box that's been laying in the cobweb corner of your bedroom and see what's underneath it. You can't just go through life wagging your finger at everybody and not taking personal responsibility. And my life changed when I started being vulnerable, when I admitted that I needed help and I needed some people around me to give a fuck about what I'm doing, because most of the time it's not the people that are the closest to us. You know, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. They're not meant to be invested in us. So you have to go out and find like-minded individuals that really have that fire in their belly to make some shit happen. And when you have that, as you know, you are a combination of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So when next time you're out, look around at these fuckers and see what it is they're doing. And if they suck, move along. You know, you can love them from a distance. It doesn't have to be any hate, but it's just like, you have to be able to be vulnerable, admit where you're wrong, admit what you suck at, because if not, you're going to be stuck where you're at forever. Vulnerability was that big thing for me that helped change everything for me, because I had to realize I don't have it figured out. Harmony, you don't know shit. That's hard to admit.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a big deal, though. People like to, you know, that at least on the surface, you know, they want to let you know what they know. They want to appear to have it all together. And the other thing is too, when you start to, like, if you look around and you see people and they're kind of doing whatever, they kind of, or they just say, because I know something you hate is mediocrity. So if you get your 5 closest friends, they just happy with just, hey, we good, we just that's gonna annoy you. Part of the difference to me, like, is people that are willing to I don't want to say elevate because I don't want to make it seem like somebody's below you, but move along is what does that mean for those friends of mine? And then the
Right.
friends in turn think the same thing. Oh, you want a drink? So you're not gonna have a drink. Okay, well, what does that mean for me? Like we're, that you kind of like almost like leaving them behind.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily leaving them behind. You said you could love them from afar. You're not leaving them behind, but the way I love you is gonna be a little different now
Yeah.
because what you're doing is at this particular time is not serving me. And again, if you are mediocre, or you pulling in the opposite direction, you have to cut that tie.
You do, and it really isn't from a being I'm better than, or I fuck you, I'm not going to Chili's or something. It's just I don't have any hate for Chili's either. It's just I think I there's this is what it is. It's not about the mediocrity, I guess would be a one way to put it, but it's more there's such a big world, an expansive world to experience that I feel like it's in vain if we don't experience it. We don't all have to experience the fanciest steakhouse or just something different. Try the food truck. Try like how we walked and got the ice cream. Well, like try something different. It doesn't have to be expensive or elaborate or fancy or any of that kind of stuff. Investing with Rob. Just try some stuff. Just get out and experience the world, because I think that's where how we are able to rub elbows with people that can elevate us, because we're all kind of going after the same shit.
Yeah.
That's what I think. What do I know?
Well, listen, but you trying to figure it out though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm trying to figure it out.
When you stop and you just say, all right, I got to figure it out. Yeah, that's when, that or the magic is not there when you got it all figured out.
No, I just want to be the best version of myself, and I want to go out into the world and be a good human when I rub elbows with other humans. That's pretty much it.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. So I think we got to do this again, Harmony, because I have to go to work.
I know. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, but I've
had a great time, and I know you have to go to work, so it's all good.
I don't want to. I should have took the night off. But anyway,
It's okay.
yeah. But
We're gonna make it a point. I want to do that with the guys as well. Like, I'm gonna be going live. Like, we just need to make it a point, make it a priority to come on each other's shows and support each other in a new, fresh way.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Damn it. I'm gonna give me a little power nap, and I'm gonna drink water all night tonight. It'll be no coffee. There'll be no energy drink because I'm on those effects today. It gave me great energy then, but today was terrible.
Oh God, you got to pay somehow.
Yeah.
Great conversation. YouTube unfolded. Thank you.
I definitely paid today. So yeah. So again, everybody, thanks for coming out. I just wanted to share with y'all some of the cool people. I'll be doing this more often with people I know, and I got a couple of people that I want to chop it up with that I don't necessarily know, but they're doing some cool things. And today was about harmony, and I promise y'all that we could have been going for another 3 hours.
Oh, easy.
Up here just talking. So I want to thank everybody for coming out.
Yes, thank you everybody for hanging out and listening to me blab.
You got anything you want to say before we go?
Just that it was a joy, and I appreciate you so much, and I love you dearly, and I'm just lucky to have you in my corner.
All right, love you too, my sister.
And you guys go follow me on YouTube. Thank you.
Yeah, who's in there? Could y'all put her? I know they was putting your page in there before we go.
Thank you. And yes, I'll come back on because I've still got some time. I'm still editing this baby.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. The book now it's not ready. Do you pre-order on Amazon, or what's the state?
Not yet. No, I'm not doing the pre-order. This has already been uploaded. The whole completed book has been uploaded. I just have to get in and give them the okay, and it will be immediately on the storefront on Amazon. But I'm going through with a pen, which is what I've been doing for the last week since I got this proof, and just going through and making sure that there's nothing that I missed.
Right.
A comma out of the place. I'm not going to be anal retentive about it, but I want it, I work so hard on it. And once I go through, then I'll go back on Amazon I'll make whatever tweaks I need to make, and it will be available immediately. So sometime within the next 2 weeks, this will be available for purchase on Amazon. 188 pages, loads of really cool things. But the first 11 chapters of this book is my memoir. When I got diagnosed, my spiral, getting wasted on my porch, smoking all the cigarettes, baby, because I felt sick and sorry for myself. And then it goes into all of the recipes, and there's a load of them. So they're fun, and I'm excited about it. So I'll come back on when it's ready, and we can go more into the book.
Okay. All right, y'all. Like I like to say, do not leave anything unsaid to your loved ones. We are not promised tomorrow, so make sure if you have anything to say, you say it. All right? Y'all be safe.
Yeah. Look, invitation sent, signed, sealed, delivered, you got it, now welcome in. Engaging with the listener, a space for where you is. As we debate particulars, trying to build a bridge through conversation that's intimate, the mission is. Thought-provoking with words spoken, bitter truth, not to sugarcoat it. Just an openness, place on display. Wisdom in the words that he say. A part of just embracing every gray over here. No fear, clear, I'm unafraid. I'm much older, I no longer hold a child ways. Adults in the room, times past for playing games. Grown talk, isn't that the reason why you came? Simple and plain, delivery raw, straight to the chase. Better than before, learning from your yesterdays. Introducing insight, influence, be amazed by a brother of a certain age. Now rock with him.